just take a second, if you could, just kind of introduce yourself, your background, where you came from, just kind of elaborate.
So my name's Troy Gordon, from Trinidad and Tobago. I went to school in Los Angeles for 1 year, went to school at Fordham University in the Bronx for 3 years, graduated in '09, and while in school, I kind of dabbled in a little bit of promoting, and after I was a major in finance, and after the crash that was around the same time as the financial crisis, I kind of had to decide whether to do finance or promote, and I was, like post-graduation, was starting to make some good money, so continued and made a decision to go all out, and I've been promoting 7 nights a week since then. 2 of my partners, Thomas and Lou, I went to school with them at Fordham University, and Lou always used to, come hang out with me, and we became very close friends. He already had a pre-existing Doppio franchise. They have one in Greenwich, Connecticut. They have one in Huntington, Long Island. And then he approached me and said, they wanted to open one in the city. So I invested in this one, and then also in the one in the Hamptons, in Sag Harbor. Ever since, that's a year and 2 months ago. Troy Report it used to be a blog that I used to write while I was in school, or in my early years of promoting, to kind of separate myself from other promoters, because I realized that everybody's a promoter now. Back then it wasn't as many, but still there was some fierce competition, and I wanted to differentiate myself, at least have something funny, or just something on the side that kind of was comical so people could see that side of me. So I used to write about, funny situations with girls, funny situations with guys wanting to meet girls, guys between guys, everything you could think of that was possibly funny in nightlife, I wrote about it. It was going good, and just the owners didn't like when I would write about celebrities. Obviously, if celebrities go out with you and they have a good time with you because you keep their privacy, they want to keep that privacy, and they want to continue to take out these guys to their nightclubs. So if I'm writing about it, it's not a good look, and I work for them. So it came to a point where the owners were threatening me, either your blog or the paychecks we sent to you. So I had to stop. So that was the whole reason I kind of it's been maybe 2 years now I've completely stopped, but if I would have went down that route, who knows where I'd be now. If I had to compare promoters to how people sometimes see us, they see us as like people in Times Square giving out cards, annoying you all the time, always marketing something, come here, come check this out. Back in the day, I used to actually go in Soho and literally just try and get girls' numbers all the time. Every day in the summer from 4 or 5 p.m., I would go with my business cards, stack of 200 and finish completely packed. With 2 other friends of mine. And it was kind of like that. That was my hustle back then. Now you have all Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Foursquare, all these different things, Tinder, everything. Everybody's on everything. So you don't really need to do that as much anymore. But people see promoters as just annoying or negative. Why? I don't know. It's cheesy, a guy at a table with free liquor. In my opinion, it's a respectable job. I'm 28, I own my own home, I own a place in Miami, I pay my bills, I'm not a bum, I'm trying to do good things, I'm not like a but that's the thing, this is the problem. They have grimy guys out there who they're there for the girls. They're there for, I don't know, they have a ton of all the negative things you could think of in nightclubs, so I guess it just correlates with the guy that's inviting them there, In the beginning, my family wasn't proud of my decision to take this route, so it was kind of like a corroborating factor for me to say to myself, what, I'm not gonna drink, I'm not gonna do any drugs, I'm not gonna do anything negative, I'm gonna take it serious like a business, I'm always trying to do something constructive, so if I'm not promoting in the daytime, I'll be reading books, I'll be learning stuff. Maybe I have my real estate license. Sadly, I haven't really used it yet, but I have it, I've taken a bunch of courses, in different things just to like stimulate the brain. Every day I try to read, every month I try to read at least 2 books. People say it's an easy thing. I don't think it's very easy. It may be easier on the weekend to take people out, but to have people going out on a blizzard night, a rainy night, on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you have to have a database of at least 3,000-4,000 people, to be, you're in communication with via text, I mean, you may get lucky with birthdays and stuff like that, but it's not that easy to bring people out during the week. It's very competitive, like, I could work hard, contact a birthday, they contact me 2 months in advance, we communicate for 2 months about all the things that we're gonna make perfect regarding the birthday, and then the night of, they show up, they're impatient, they're cold outside, they walk in with somebody else. You lose a client, that you've been, in constant contact with, and there's no loyalty. There is, but there isn't, And then people like, oh my God, I'm so sorry, I didn't know you were here. People, oh yeah, I said your name, but they didn't say your name, As you get older, you're less respected, People ask, oh my God, you're still doing this? Like condescendingly talking down to me when you make way more than them, Even though you shouldn't pay attention to stuff like that, it still bothers you. It bothers me, I know some guys who really don't care, they're happy, they're living the dream, but I don't want to get stuck in it, and I know a lot of people that get stuck in the industry. I don't mind doing it, but using it as a platform for other things. That's the end goal. With me, 2 things. Girls always say they have a good time with me because I allow guys to come out with me. I honestly, I am not against guys. A lot of promoters, they don't want any guys out with them, which I think is dumb. Girls come out to meet guys or meet people, guys come out to meet guys. At the end of the day, I am all about people leaving a night out with me and they could say they met someone from Sweden, they met someone from Germany, they met someone from Australia, they met someone from Russia, they met someone from the Caribbean, Trinidad, they met people. They have people who go out with other promoters and they literally sit at a table by themselves or with their friends and communicate with no one. I've seen it too many times. They communicate with no one. Like sit down for 3 hours, drink, get drunk, tipsy, in a boozy, fun mood and communicate with no one. I don't allow that. So I forcefully introduce everybody to one another at my table. So at least, if I leave the table, they have some camaraderie, they made a connection. That's what New York and nightlife is all about. You make a connection with people that you don't know. So if I had to say there's one thing that I would want from a Troy Gordon experience, it would be that. You made friendship, you made business. I've brokered many deals from just introduction. One, hey, this is John, this is James, that's it. My end goal is to not have to work anymore. Enough passive income where it covers all my costs. That's if I had to say, I don't need to be a billionaire. I'm good. I could, have all my costs covered and something extra and I'll be happy,
Yeah, appreciate it, man.
All right, brother.